They say that everything in the world is either about love or the absence of it. Every war ever fought, every empire ever erected, every empire ever fallen, everything is about love. Each and every one of us has experienced it, encountered it, felt it to some extent. Yet, if we were asked to describe what is love, many of us would struggle to find the words. It's also said that Arabic is one of the most complex human inventions ever created. To put it into perspective, English has around 250,000 words. Arabic has 12 million. And of those 12 million, I'm going to share with you 14, which make up the 14 stages of love in Arabic. Each stage is very unique. Each one of these stages have their own story, with each one of them acting like a puzzle piece to the next, creating the bigger journey that is the lover's journey. All the way from stage 1 to stage 14. Stage 1, Al-I'jab. The word Al-I'jab comes from the root word Ajab, which means to marvel at something, to be in admiration of something. Something has captured your attention. To call something strange or out of place, it's called Ajib. Shay Ajibun. It's the spontaneous reaction when you notice someone in the crowd, something that makes the world go black and white. And for some reason, they stand out. Maybe it's the smile, the way they move, or even something as subtle as the way they hold themselves. Whatever it is, it captivates you and pulls you towards them. Another term for this stage is al-hawa, because the breeze is light, it's exhilarating. It feels good to be hit in the face with a gust of wind. And sometimes they take your breath away too. Terms sil al-hawa, or the winds of love, are often used to describe leaves that get swooped up with the wind. And just like in English, we have the term being swept off your feet. You get caught up in this moment of intensity. It's wild, free, directionless. But just like the wind, this stage doesn't linger around. It's fragile, fleeting. It may sweep you off your feet, but it does not promise to stay. This is the beginning of the lover's journey. Stage 2, Al-Hiyaam. The winds of Al-Hawa came, and let's say that you harnessed these winds and filled your sails with them. And now you have set sail into Al-Hiyaam. The term Al-Hiyaam comes from the root word Hayyama, which is tied to the image of wandering aimlessly, often in a vast, isolating desert. This stage is consuming, overwhelming, disorientating. And just like when you're lost in the desert, there is nothing around you but sand. The same way, when you are in Al-Hiyaam, the only thing you see is the one you love. Your admiration is no longer fleeting, no longer just a spark in your eyes. The world has become a desert. You are a traveler, and they are the mirage of the oasis you seek to quench your thirst. From wandering aimlessly in your thoughts, you are now in the third stage, Al-Ishq. The term Ishq is very commonly found in Urdu, Farsi, Arabic, and it can be best described as entangling passion. The word Al-Ishq is derived from the word Ashaqa, which is used to describe when a vine wraps tightly around a branch, a trunk, or a fence post. In Arabic, every little detail about the imagery of the words is relevant to its meaning. A vine is alive. It grows tighter and tighter. It doesn't just cling to the post, but it wraps itself around it, entangled. A vine can also strangle the post. Your emotions are no longer fleeting. They have got you in their grasp. This could refer to you are the vine and they are the post. Or maybe you are the post and the vine is your feelings for them. So unlike Al-I'jab or Al-Hawa, which are fleeting thoughts, sparks of momentary attention, and unlike Al-Hiyaam, which is aimlessly wandering, thirsty and tired in the desert, Al-Ishq holds you tightly and keeps you bound to them. Congratulations, you're now in love. Stage 4, Al-Gharam. The term Al-Gharam is derived from the term Gharama, which captures the imagery of being submerged underwater or under a very heavy weight. This term is used more to describe debt. For example, مش ممكن زي غرامك انت علي غرام. In classical Arabic, this is more used to describe something that cannot be walked away from. This stage of love is so much further than just entanglement or feelings. You are indebted to one another. A type of responsibility or commitment. A burden nonetheless, but a burden that you want to carry together. Debt of devotion. The weight of a promise. Al-Gharam is a heavy weight. As described in the Quran, marriage is mithaqan ghalidha, a heavy contract. This stage serves as a stepping stone off of Al-Ishq. There you were entangled, now you're tied in together. The fifth stage is Al-Walah. Walah can mean bewilderment or confusion. In poetry, it's also used to describe being spellbound. Al-Walah is like being caught in a whirlpool, and at the center, the eye of the storm, is your beloved, around which all the chaos inside you revolves. The sixth stage is the most common word for love in Arabic, الحب. It's from the word Hubb that we get terms like habibi. But the term Hubb actually is derived from the word habba, which actually means a seed. And this metaphor will blow your mind. Anyone can be swept off their feet or feel like their mind is obsessed with someone else. But at this stage, it requires your attention now. From the seed comes the harvest, wheat that's ground into flour, flour that's baked into bread, bread that feeds our bodies. Love, just like bread, becomes the nourishment of the soul. Stage 7, الشوق. The term shawq is derived from the word shawaqa, which literally means to stretch something apart, to pull it as if it's about to rip. This stage captures tension, longing, as if your heart feels like it's being stretched thin, feel like you're being pulled apart from the inside out. Poets of old described it as standing on the edge of a vast chasm, reaching out for someone who's just out of reach. You are willing to pull yourself apart for them. The eighth stage is الصبابة. The word Sabaabah is derived from the term sabba. This word comes multiple times in the Quran and is used to describe pouring something. Allah uses the same word in Surah Al-Abasa. أَنَّا صَبَنَا الْمَاءَ صَبًّا. We pour down water in abundance. Allah also uses this word to describe things that aren't water too. For example, in Surah Al-Infitar, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, فَصَبَّ عَلَيْهِمْ رَبُّكَ سَوْطَ عَذَابٍ. Allah poured the punishment onto them. As-Sabaabah means love that pours out of you. People can look at you and tell that you're in love or dyed in the colors of your emotions. Thing with a lot of overflowing water, sometimes they can lead to floods. Which brings us into the ninth stage, Shaghaf. Shaghaf means to pierce something, to penetrate something, to cut very deeply. There was a cut that was made, and now that cut has burst. As if this love has pierced the inner walls of your soul, the protective walls of your heart, leaving you bare, exposed, and vulnerable. To be in love with someone is to be their friend, someone you can be alone with against the world. Which brings us to the 10th stage, Khullah. Khullah is derived from khalal or khalala. It's often associated with purity, but also has a undeniable secondary meaning of exclusivity. It's from this name we get the word khalil, which is someone who is a true, pure friend. Khalal means to be free of any impurities. The relationship has distilled down to its essence, where no one else in the world exists except for you two. An unshakable, exclusive bond. At this stage, you have found so much more than just a lover. You have found an ally, a friend, a companion on your journey of life. Stage 11 is one of the most interesting. Al-Wajd. Al-Wajd comes from the term wajada, which literally means to find something, to discover something. We still use this word in Arabic today. The term wajd, realization, discovering, finding something, is also used for the word wujud, to be, is wujud. To be mawjud is to be present. The fact that you were there, the fact that I am here, this is wujud. It's as if their presence completes your existence. In loving them, you found the very essence of who you are. In this stage, it's no longer just about emotions and connections. It's the realization that their presence is inseparable from your own. The poets also describe the word wujud to literally encompass the universe itself. You have found all of existence in this person. Stage 12, التعلق. The word تعلق comes from the root word alaqa. From alaqa, we get the word ilaqa, a relationship, a connection, an attachment. What's interesting about the term alaq is also used to describe the umbilical cord of the mother, something you're clinging to, perhaps even a lifeline. Just as a child relies on its mother for nourishment and care, in the stage of at-ta'alluq, you are vulnerable, reliant. This bond is not just emotional anymore, it's existential, just as described in Al-Wajd. Without them, you are missing, incomplete, unanchored, untethered. You are dependent on them. Now, I'm sure all of us know that love doesn't always end well. And it's here we reach the crossroads of our 14 stages. Stage 13, Al-Junun, literal madness. It's when love reaches its most extreme and overwhelming point and descends into madness. Junun literally means insanity. It comes from the root word Jannah, not Jannah, heaven, Jannah, which means to cover, to conceal something. It's from the term Jannah that we get the name Al-Jinn, a special race of beings that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created, which are hidden, concealed from the naked human eye. Al-Junun, madness, covers your senses. Your judgment is clouded. The stage of Al-Junun is illustrated perfectly in the infamous tale of Layla and Majnun. Qais ibn Malawah. His love for her was so intense that it literally drove him into madness. At this stage, love is no longer gentle, nourishing, nurturing. It's an all-consuming fire, a whirlpool that has pulled you in too deep. Al-Junun serves as both a warning and a symbol. It's the ultimate emotional climax of love. And it's at this point that in many traditions, the 14th stage is Al-Maut, death. Because the only further from madness you can fall is literally to die. But if one does not traverse that route, they find themselves at the 14th and final stage, Al-Istislam, complete surrender. It is derived from the infamous word Salama, or Salima. It's also from this word that we get the word Islam, which brings a spiritual context to it as well. Though this stage is titled surrender, it's not about defeat. Since it also consists of the word Salima, it means a type of surrender in which you will not be harmed. This is where you decide to let go, to lower your walls, to drop the shields. When you realize you're not a boxing match, your feelings don't need to be protected by you because they are protecting them for you. You are faced with two options: allow your madness to destroy you, or choose surrender, al-istislam, to find peace in your love. A surrender of not weakness but courage. It's the realization that love is not about possession or control. It's about giving. You find peace not only by holding on tightly, but by letting go. And that your true strength is actually in the vulnerability that you have with your partner. And as the poets say, I found so much of you in my heart that I could no longer call it my own. And so, I give you all of me.